From the rejected child to the successful creator, the journey to turn the tables and rediscover your self-worth. Alex has always felt different in his family. Since he was a child, he has been passionate about drawing and spends hours creating fantastical characters in his notebook. But for the family, especially Lisa's parents and sister, Alex's passion is just a waste of time. Lisa, with the perfect example of a successful older sister, graduating from college, working in an office, and married to a husband with a stable career, has always been considered pride by her parents. Meanwhile, Alex is considered a different child. After graduating from high school, Alex did something that surprised and disappointed the whole family. He didn't go to college. Instead, Alex enrolled in a 3D modeling course in hopes of pursuing his dream of becoming an animator. When Alex announced this decision, his mother could only stand stunned in the kitchen, the dishcloth still in her hand, looking at him as if he had just said something unbelievable. "What did you say? Didn't you go to college? How are you going to live?" she asked, her voice rising a little. "I want to learn to make animation. I've learned, and people can make a living from this profession on YouTube," Alex explained. But instead of receiving support, he only received his father's sarcastic laugh. "YouTube? That's not the real job. Are you going to live with your family forever?" Alex's sister, Lisa, also did not miss the opportunity to be sarcastic. "Alex, you can't live in a dreamy world forever. Look at this sister, going to college, having a stable job, and a family. That's the real life." The harsh words from the family did not make Alex give up. On the contrary, they become a motivation for him to prove that he can succeed in his own way. Alex plunged into learning, not only about 3D modeling techniques, but also about how to build a YouTube channel. He spends hours every day researching successful channels, learning storytelling, and improving his animation style. The early days were not easy. Alex's video received very few views, and the income was almost zero. Every time Jessica and her husband came to the house for dinner, they would mock him. "Have you seen the comments on the latest video? They're criticizing me badly," Lisa said, her voice full of sarcasm. Despite being looked down on by his family, Alex did not give up. He continues to improve the content, making his characters more vivid and the story more engaging. Gradually, his YouTube channel began to attract viewers. 10 subscribers became 100, then 1,000, and soon that number exceeded 10,000. 3 years later, Alex had hundreds of thousands of followers, but he decided to keep this success a secret. "Let them think you're still struggling," Alex said to himself, waiting for the right moment to reveal it all. After years of relentless effort, Alex has achieved the success he once dreamed of. His YouTube channel is thriving, providing a stable income and great opportunities. However, Alex decided to keep his success a secret, waiting for the right time to share it with his family, who once underestimated his passion. One Sunday evening, Alex attended his usual family dinner. Lisa and her husband David were also present. The usual conversation revolves around Lisa, bragging about her work, family, and perfect life. "I just got promoted," Lisa said, her voice full of pride. "The company really appreciates your dedication." Alex listened silently, as always. But that day, he decided that it was time to talk about his new life. He put down the glass of water and said in a calm but firm voice, "I have an announcement." The whole table was silent. All eyes were on Alex. "Next week I'm going to move out," Alex said. "I rented a private apartment." His words stunned the whole family. Lisa stopped halfway through her drink, looking at Alex with skeptical eyes. "Apartment? Where did you get the money?" she asked, her voice a little mocking. Alex just smiled. "From my work. My YouTube channel is doing very well." Alex's parents looked at him in surprise. "Are you serious? Can YouTube make real money?" his mother asked, his voice mixed with doubt and curiosity. "Not only can you earn it, but you can also live comfortably from it," Alex replied, avoiding giving an exact number. Lisa raised her eyebrows, her eyes full of disbelief. "Surely my parents paid for me. YouTube can't help me rent an apartment." Alex laughed and replied, "I paid for myself, and if you want, you can even buy a house." That dinner became an interrogation of Alex about his work. The family, from a place of contempt, began to show curiosity and surprise at the success that Alex had achieved. Lisa, who used to taunt Alex, was now quieter than usual. Her gaze stopped on Alex's new watch, the gift he rewarded himself for reaching a major milestone on YouTube. It seemed that she was no longer laughing as before. Instead of being jealous, that was hard to hide. After dinner, the family's attitude towards Alex changed markedly. They no longer criticize his passion, but instead offer subtle financial requests. Parents began to complain about high bills, machines that needed repairs, and Lisa tactfully mentioned the growing cost of raising children. Alex, with a desire to prove his worth and help his family, is ready to help. However, this change is only the beginning of a larger conflict. Alex gradually realizes that his help is not appreciated, but becomes obvious in the eyes of his family, which leads to inevitable tensions later on. After Alex announced his success, his family's attitude changed markedly. The irony of each day is now replaced by care mixed with delicate requests. Alex, with the desire to prove his worth and make his family proud, did not hesitate to support. But gradually, his help was no longer seen as kindness, but became obvious in their eyes. As soon as Alex moved into his new apartment, his parents started talking about the problems in the house. "The washing machine makes a strange noise," his mother said one day. "It probably needs to be fixed." "Property taxes have just gone up," his father lamented over dinner. At first, Alex was willing to help. He writes checks to pay bills and make repairs, feeling happy to be able to share the burden with his family. But then the requests became more and more frequent. Lisa is no exception. After giving birth to her first child, she began to mention the expensive cost of raising a child. "Tom lost his job, and now I have to carry everything alone," she said during a phone call to Alex. "You know, diapers and milk are expensive now." Alex sets up a monthly transfer for Lisa without much thought. With the income from his YouTube channel and sponsorship deals, he can afford to help. But this support quickly became obvious in her sister's eyes. One day, when Alex visits his parents' house, he hears them talking about fixing the roof. "We need to fix it before winter, otherwise it will break worse," his father said. "I can tell Alex," his mother replied, as if it were the default solution. Alex didn't say anything, but in his heart he began to feel uneasy. The initial support was joyful, but now he feels that he is no longer seen as a family member, but a source of finance. Alex always thinks that his help is a way to prove his value and be accepted by his family. He paid a lot of money for bills, repaired his house, and even helped Lisa, the older sister who had mocked him, by transferring money every month to support her family. But Alex didn't expect that his kindness would be exploited, and the truth he was about to discover would change everything forever. One weekend morning, Alex stopped by his parents' house to relax. As he walked through his father's office, he decided to help clean up a bit because his mother had mentioned that they needed to rearrange their old papers. Flipping through stacks of old files and photos, Alex feels like he's looking back at his childhood, from the doodles he drew as a kid to birthday cards. However, when Alex opens a new manila envelope, the feeling of nostalgia is immediately replaced by stunned. Inside was his parents' will, made just days after Alex gave them a new car for their wedding anniversary. In his will, Alex reads that all the property, including the house for which he has paid many bills, will be transferred to Lisa. Not a single line mentions Alex. Not a single part is devoted to him. When his parents returned, Alex walked into the living room, holding the envelope in his hand. "Does anyone want to explain this?" he asked, his voice calm but clear. Alex's mother turned pale when she saw the envelope in his hand, and his father didn't dare to look his son in the eye. "It's our property, Alex," his mother said, trying to keep her voice calm. "We have the right to decide who will inherit." "Nobody said I wanted a property dispute," Alex replied. "But you hid your will as soon as I gave you the new car. Are all the proud words you tell me just fake?" His father tried to reconcile. "Alex, you've succeeded. I have a lot of money and a stable life, but Lisa needs this more than you." "That's right," his mother said, his voice starting to get harsher. "I don't lack anything. Jessica and her family needed a place to settle down. You shouldn't be so selfish." Alex stood silent for a moment, trying to contain his anger. "Selfish? I paid the bills, repaired the house, and helped Lisa every month. Is that selfish?" The conflict erupted when Lisa called Alex greedy and accused him of trying to seize the family property. Unable to stand the accusations of injustice and the feeling of betrayal, Alex makes a decision. "I was wrong to think I was helping my family," he said, his voice cold. "But now I understand that you don't see me as a member of the family, but only as a source of money." Alex put the envelope on the table and said, "I'm stopping from here. No more bills, no more transfers, no more gifts. If you want anything more, take care of it yourself." Alex's mother shouted, "You can't do that. We are family." Alex turned around, his eyes cold. "Families don't treat each other like that. You have long since stopped seeing me as family." Alex left his parents' house with relief. Although the decision to cut off all support was not easy, he knew that it was necessary to free himself from being taken advantage of. From here, Alex began to focus on himself and his career, investing time and energy in the things that truly brought value to him. This decision not only helped him find his freedom again, but also the beginning of a new chapter in his life, where he could live for himself without having to prove his worth in front of anyone. After discovering that his parents' will left all his property to his sister Lisa, Alex feels deeply betrayed. He did not regret the money he had spent to help his family, but what broke his heart was the lack of respect and greed from the people he once thought were his support. The conflict that culminated in that dinner changed everything. Alex decided to leave his family to protect himself. After announcing the suspension of financial support, Alex faced a series of criticism from his family. Calls, texts, and even public social media posts from his mother are full of accusations that he is an ungrateful child and selfish. "You can't leave your family in a difficult time," his mother shouted over the phone. Alex only replied briefly, "You've done enough. If you don't appreciate it, then you don't need to continue." Alex's fierceness caused the family to fall into chaos. Lisa is even angrier, claiming that Alex is deliberately sabotaging her life and accusing him of being greedy, even though she herself is the one who lives on his support. The decision to leave his family was not easy, but it allowed Alex to regain his freedom and focus on himself. He puts all his energy into work and animation projects. His team, understanding what he was going through, gave his full support, helping Alex turn chaotic emotions into artistic creations. Alex's YouTube channel is constantly growing, surpassing the milestone of 10 million followers. With a steady source of income and support from a talented team, Alex decided to expand the company. He hired more personnel and began producing a new animated series, an ambitious project he had once dreamed of. One day, when he looked back on what he had achieved, Alex felt relieved. No longer bound by unreasonable demands from his family, he can invest in real values, both in his career and personal life. The family does not give up easily. They kept sending messages, begging for help, but Alex ignored them all. The culmination was when his mother posted an article on social media, accusing Alex of being a cruel son who abandoned his family in his time of need. This post, instead of receiving sympathy, made many family members stand on Alex's side. "Isn't this the son who paid all the bills for you?" one uncle commented. "He bought a new car and financed a Hawaiian vacation, didn't he?" The support from relatives silenced Alex's mother, but did not alleviate Lisa's anger. She even called, accusing Alex of sabotaging her life and that of her family. Alex quietly ended the call and blocked all communication from her. No longer bound by the demands of his family, Alex focuses on building his own life. He invested in a new house with a large garden where he could design the animation studio of his dreams. With each passing day, Alex feels like he's getting closer to the life he's always dreamed of, free, creative, and no longer having to prove his worth to anyone. Although his family had hurt him, Alex did not regret his decision to cut off the relationship. He realized that freeing himself from toxic relationships not only brought peace, but also helped him focus entirely on his career and personal well-being. From here, Alex continues his journey to build a career, achieve greater milestones in his work, and explore new aspects of life, a completely new journey that he owns. After deciding to cut ties with his family, Alex enters a new phase in his life. He understands that letting go is not about giving up on his family, but about freeing himself from the toxic relationships that have hurt him for years. No longer bound by financial demands or criticism from his parents and Lisa, Alex feels more relieved than ever. He devotes all his time and energy to growing his YouTube channel, where he can be creative and do what he loves without interruption. The YouTube channel continues to reach major milestones, surpassing 10 million followers, giving Alex recognition and a steady source of income. He expanded his company, hired more people, and began working on ambitious animation projects that he had previously only dreamed of. With his growing success, Alex decided to buy a new house with a spacious garden and space to build his own animation studio. Standing in his house, he feels free and peaceful, no longer under pressure from his family. From here, Alex focused entirely on his career and finding new meaning in life. He realized that letting go was not a failure, but the beginning of a journey of rebirth, where he lived true to his values and built the life he had always wanted.